Hello, good morning one and all. Welcome to my channel. My today's video is on lesson 3 of standard 10th. Lesson 3 of standard 10th is the gift of Magi. The gift of Magi, written by O. Henry. The gift of Magi, written by O. Henry, is a very popular story of a young couple. It's a very popular story of a young couple. Jim and Della are the poor husband and wife. They are living in a well-furnished home, paying $8 per week. There's a card bearing the name Mr. James Dellingham Young. He was lovingly called as Jim. The name Dellingham had been flung to the breeze. And of course, Mrs. James Dellingham Young was Della. Jim and Della both loved one another, and they both wanted to present a gift to one another. On Christmas Eve, there was the festival of Christmas. So they both wanted to present gifts to one another. But both Jim and Della were poor. They didn't have much money. Neither Jim had money, nor did Della have. But both wanted to give presents to one another. Della had some amount. She had say around about $1.87. It is said that Della had $1.87 with her, and this amount she had saved by bulldozing the grocer, the vegetable man, the butcher. She used to always bargain with them, and hence she had saved this money. But this money was not sufficient to buy a good Christmas gift for her husband. This amount was very less. So Della sat crying over her poverty. She felt bad that she had no more money to buy a gift. She thought again and again how to arrange the money to buy the gift. She came near the window, near the glass window of their flat, and there she stood. She just pulled down her hair and let it fall to its full length. She just let her hair fall to its full length. Della had beautiful long hair. Della had beautiful long hair which fell to its full length. Here in the story, children, one interesting thing is the precious possessions which Jim and Della had. They both were very proud of their possessions. The possession of Jim was his gold watch. It was his ancestral property. He had got this watch from his father and grandfather. His grandfather had given it to his father, and now his father had given it to him. Hence, this gold watch was with Jim. In this lesson, Jim's watch is compared to King Solomon's property. Jim's watch, this gold watch of Jim, is being compared to King Solomon's property. It was so precious. The possession of Della was her long, beautiful hair. It was compared to Queen Sheba's gifts and jewels. They were so precious. She had long, beautiful hair. Della's hair fell about her, rippling and shining like a cascade of brown water. It reached below her knee and made itself almost like a garment for her. It was so long, her hair was so long that when she left her hair, it looked like flowing water. Brown cascade is referred to as the water, when the water flows. So her hair also, when it was left to its full length, it flowed. When she saw her long hair, something suddenly struck her mind. She put on her brown jacket, a brown hat, and fluttered out of the door. She entered the street. She stopped at a place where there was a signboard. Something was put up on the signboard. So what it was written, Ma'am Safrani, hair, goods of all kinds. Della went to Madam Safrani and asked, will you buy my hair? Madam Safrani said, I buy hair of all kinds. She just saw Della's hair and said, $20. I shall buy your hair for $20, she said. Della quickly sold her hair for $20 and went in search of a gift for her loving husband. She wanted to buy a Christmas gift for her husband, and that is why she sells her hair for $20. She had already $1.87 with her. $1.87 were already there with her. Now she gets $20. So totally she has $21.87. She searched for a platinum fob chain. Her husband had a gold watch. There was no chain for it. So she searched for a platinum fob chain for his watch. She paid $21 for that fob chain and walked off home with the remaining 87 cents. The remaining amount was only 87 cents. So $21 she gave for the fob chain, and with the remaining 87 cents, she went home. She came home and she observed her short curly hair. She had long hair. Now suddenly when the hair is cut, there are curls. So she observes her short curly hair. She went in front of the mirror and she observed herself. She looked like a truant schoolboy. She looked like a truant schoolboy with a short curly hair. Della only thought how Jim would react to her looks. She started preparing the Christmas for the Christmas Eve. She started preparing chops for the Christmas Eve. The festival was the very next day. Christmas was on the very next day. So she started preparing the chops. She kept the coffee ready at the table because Jim was never late. He would return home exactly at the same time. So Jim was never late. He came home. She went running and opened the doors and prayed to God to make him think that she still looked pretty with her short curly hairs. With her short curly hair, she still looked pretty. When Jim entered the house, he saw Della and was horrified. He simply stared at Della. Della saw her husband, Jim, and came running to him, and she told him that she sold her hair because she wanted to buy a Christmas gift for him. She said that she could not stay without giving him a Christmas gift. She told him that she loved him more and her hair was not important for her. She said her love for him was more important than her hair. So we can see that the love between Jim and Della is very nicely depicted in the lesson, and a very nice phrase has been used. $8 a week or $1 million a year. $8 a week or $1 million a year. A mathematician or a wit would give you the wrong answer. because nothing is more precious than love and affection. Nothing is more precious than love and affection. Money does not matter at all. Money does not matter at all. So later, Jim took out a packet from his pocket and threw it on the table. Della opened up and saw they were a set of combs. Comb, he had brought comb for her because she had beautiful long hair. She had observed it in the Broadway window. They were expensive combs, pure tortoiseshell, with jeweled rims. She had once seen them in the Broadway window. She had liked them, but because of short of money, of course, because of their poverty, she couldn't buy that, and she had returned home. So Jim wanted to buy that for her, and now he had bought it for her as a Christmas gift. Now she has a comb in her hand, but no more her long hair. She feels very bad, and she tells Jim that, Jim, you don't worry, my hair grows very fast and I will be able to use the combs which you have brought for me as present. This is on one side. The other side, Jim had not seen his present, what Della had brought for him. So Della gives him the fob chain and says, isn't it dandy, Jim? She says, give me your gold watch. But alas, he had sold his watch to buy the combs for her. Alas, he had lost. He had not lost, he had sold. Jim had sold his watch to buy combs for her, and she had sold her hair to buy a fob chain for his watch. They both had bought such presents that both were not useful to one another. So, Jim tells Della to put away the Christmas gifts aside. He tells you, put away the Christmas gifts. Because she had bought a fob chain, he no longer had a watch. He had bought the combs, she no longer had long hair. But one thing which we can observe here is the true love which existed between the couple. Both had sold their lovely possessions, precious possessions, to buy gifts for one another. But see the fate. The gifts were not useful to both of them. Their love was priceless. Here, the author, O. Henry, compares them to the Magi. The Magi were the three wise men who brought gifts to newborn Jesus. According to Bible, Magi were the three kings, Caspar, Melchior, Balthazar, who traveled to Bethlehem from somewhere in the east, probably Persia. So we can see in this lesson that Jim and Della both loved one another a lot. They didn't have money to buy gifts. They sold their precious possessions, brought gift to one another, but both the gifts were not useful. However, their love which existed matters here. So the message which we get in this lesson, the message is, love is more precious than money or any other richness for that matter. Love is more precious than money. So this is the story of the young couple Jim and Della. So children, This lesson, The Gift of Magi, is written by O. Henry. This is a story of the young couple Jim and Della. Della had only $1.87. With this, she could not buy a present, so she thought of selling her hair. Then they have mentioned about the possessions of Jim and Della. Della brings the fob chain, and Jim brings the comb. One important thing here is money does not matter. Money does not matter. It is love that matters. Yes, children, do remember that. Money does not matter in any condition, in any situation. It is not money that matters. It is love that matters. The love between we, all of us. It matters, not the money. So this is the lesson. I have given you the short summary of it. Coming to the examination point of view. Okay, just before coming to the examination point of view, if you have understood this lesson, if you have liked my video, what you have to do? Like, share and subscribe. Now let me come to the important questions. The 1 mark questions are like, how did Della save her $1.87? Second question may be, how much money did Della have with her? Or the question may be like, for how much money did she sell her hair? Or it may be like, what is the amount did she pay for the fob chain? What is the amount she paid for the fob chain? Or it may be like, what gift did Della buy for Jim? What gift did Jim buy for Della? Or who are the Magi? These are the small questions which are most likely asked. The 2 mark questions may be like, what are the precious possessions of Jim and Della? Were the gifts useful to each other? Were the gifts bought by one another useful? How did both of them react when they saw the gifts? One important question here which is asked for explanation is, a mathematician or a wit would give you a wrong answer. That sentence is given and asked you for explanation. The next question may be like, why are gifts of Jim and Della compared to those of the Magi? Why are gifts of Jim and Della compared to those of the Magi? Or write a story on Jim and Della. So hope you have understood the summary of this lesson, children. As I told you, you have to like, share and subscribe.